Hey, welcome back to iPadFest 2015. My name is Brian Buffington, and this is being produced by Pioneer Risa with lots of assistance from Warrior TV. And I want to give them a special shout out for letting us use their studio here in lovely White County High School. So we're actually doing a professional development from the mountains of Georgia. Can you believe that? It's up there. It's wild. It's wild. If you're tuning in and you just got in, we are using the hashtag iPadFest, also hashtag PadFest. If you would, that was a little slight typo there, but you can use either one. It's not a big deal, to talk about some things that you're learning and sharing with your colleagues who are watching as well. Know that today's going to be recorded, and you can also get it later if you register. Some of you are just kind of tuning in from the website. If you register, I'll send you the link. No problem at all. And as like most people, most teachers, we do like to eat. So at 12, we are going to take a lunch break. So 12 to 12:45, we'll have a lunch break. We encourage you to go take a breather. I know it's hard. Go take a lunch break, eat something yummy, come back at 12:45. And we still have a few more presentations we want to show and kind of go out with a bang. So right now we have a special guest, a new guest. They're all special. This is Brittany Bronson, all the way from Robinson Elementary School in Dawson County. And how you doing, Brittany?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
So Brittany's in the trenches. She uses iPads with students. You're talking to a real person here. All right, so not someone who's just on a stage all the time. We want to hear how this works. What do you have to show us, Brittany?
Well, I kind of have a couple things, and the first one is actually it's a website that I found, and I've just now recently been using. I attended GAETC, and I found some wonderful resources. And while I was researching about all this stuff that I found out, I actually stumbled upon this thing called Blendspace. And how you get there is you just go through Safari. This one's actually not an app. And you just type in tes.com. And when you do that, I'll go ahead and do it on mine too. So
is that tes.com?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah, tes.com. And when you open it, it'll bring you up to the TES webpage. And all you do is you click on, up in the top corner, it'll say Blendspace. And you just type in, or you just click on Blendspace, and you can go in and create a teacher account. It's super easy. And it's really neat. I created one. We're actually starting our weather unit, and we've researched the water cycle, and now we're kind of getting to the point where they need to understand what weather is, what climate is, and how they relate. So this past week we've been doing this, and my kids love it. It's really interactive, and I'm just going to click on mine. I actually created one. It says, "Can you be a meteorologist? Part 1." Because my overall thing is they're going to actually get to create a weather broadcast.
Oh,
and
I love that.
They're super excited about it.
Create.
And now, like the Blendspace, it has, you can put as many boxes in here as you want to, as little as you want to, and you can give them directions, is what I like about this. And if you're a one-to-one school, they can actually log in with their Google accounts, and they can send you comments, and it can be really interactive. And it is what you make it. So this is my Blendspace. And so the only thing is, like, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so they can't get off track. It actually goes in and labels, and it moves them along in the order that you want them to be. And so what I have is, I just have, it's like an overall kind of overview of what we're doing on the unit. And they're actually creating one to help our PE coach, because he's the one that does field day. So they're going to get to pick out what weather should be best for field day. And then they have to do their own broadcast and kind of back up their opinion about it and support their cast. And then the next one we just went through, and you can put in links on this one to other websites, and it'll just take them there. And so we actually watched a weather broadcast. It was really neat. And then the only issue I've had with this one is at our school, the teachers can view YouTube, but the students cannot. And our media specialist really helped me with this one. She told me that all I had to do was download the YouTube video, and that I can insert it into the Blendspace. And so that's exactly what I've done here.
Man, media specialists are becoming pretty awesome these days. They know all kinds of things.
I like to think we have the best one in the world. And so I just have a couple of videos. It's self-paced, and they actually work with a partner. And like up in the corner over here, I have my directions. So I have what I want them to be thinking about. And obviously, I walk around, I guide their thinking. But as far as the students, it's really student-led, and I'm there to facilitate and to help push those high-order thinking.
Those are magical words. Facilitate, create. Keep going. I might just follow the chair. Let's go.
And then I have some websites that, just as a review for them. And there's a cool little, I'll back up. And then there's also a cool little Climate Tales. I found that one. It was neat. And the kids really enjoyed watching it. And then to check their understanding, I at first had a Google Forms, which the lovely Brian Buffington helped us set up. It was really neat, loved it. But it just wasn't working as well as I liked it to be on the iPad. So,
It's okay.
so the thing is, like, it was working for some, but then it would freeze up and you couldn't type as well in it. So I decided to change it. I love Google Forms though, by the way. And so the app that I checked out today was Socrative. And it is an app on the iPad, which I love. It's amazing. And then it's actually a website. So my kids don't have it on their iPads just yet. So it's the same thing through the web. So I have the link, and then if you have the app on your iPad, you can just log in through the link. But all you'd have to do is you click on that link, and then my room is Bronson. It's my last name. It's Bronson. And so you just join room. And obviously, you'd have to, if you're a student, you'd have to go and watch the videos and research before you took the quiz. And so I'm just entering my name, BB. And when I do that, and I have my quiz up right here.
So you're telling me the student didn't have to have a login for this, just they had to know your password. All right, because we're working with K-5 students, they don't all have email addresses.
Right.
That's a key point there. There you go. Keep going.
And I liked it too because I can just put in the link. I can hyperlink it. That way they don't have to type in anything because it's a nightmare. I usually use tiny URLs. It's tiny.cc and it just shortens it up. I think you showed me that too. And so, but this one, I can go in and I can just take it, submit answer. And then I like this because it's instant feedback and you can change it on your teacher settings. But it gives you, and obviously I got this incorrect. I did that on purpose, you think. And it gives me the correct answer, and it gives me an explanation of why my answer was incorrect. So the kids get instant feedback, and they say, oh, okay, well, I understand it now. Or if they have a question, they can always ask. And then it moves them on. And then same thing. And as the teacher, there's also a teacher app. So while your students are doing it, and I'll actually pull up the teacher app as well. So I'm just going to click out of this, and I have my app on here. I have a ton. So let me find it again. Thank you. The teacher Socrative. And so this one, and you can sign in with Google, and it's already going to sign me in. And so on this one, I can go through, and it gives me options. I can start a quiz, a quick question. I can do a space race, and I'll show you real quick what space race is. And it really builds competition. And when I was sitting through a session at GAETC, they talked about how competition can be a good thing. So all you do is select a quiz, and I can do my weather versus climate. And you can do the number of teams. It does, like how big or how little you want them. I can do 2 teams, auto-assign teams. So when students log in, it actually gives them an option to choose if you want them to do that. It's really neat. And I'll go back to my home screen.
So it's a space race. So one student can see they're ahead of the other students?
Yeah. And so you can see when they log in, it'll actually show you their progress, and it'll show you which team is ahead. So you can kind of use that as a motivator. I felt like it was kind of like a Kahoot in that sense,
It is.
but on teams.
Right.
And then, okay, so here, if you click on the little wrench, if you're on the teacher app, that's where you can manage your quizzes. And you can create a quiz, you can import a quiz that you might have already created, and then the reports, and then my quizzes. So I can actually, mine is actually broadcasted because my kids are actually taking it right now. And then as soon as they're taking it, like I can see me right here, BB, 40%. That means my progress is 40%. I haven't completed it. So I can go in and say, hey, you need to go back and finish that. You might have logged out on accident. And then I can actually see a kid right now. Mr. Ashton is live, and I can see it, and it's so neat because I can see where they may need help with. This is a quick formative assessment. And then, like I have a short answer in here as well. It's like, what is the difference between weather and climate? And you can go through, and you can just get a quick overview of how your class is understanding your topic. So that's why I like this a lot. And it gives you, it's instant. You don't have to wait. And it grades it for you as well. So that saves us a lot of time.
How much money is this going to set you back?
It's free.
Well, why would anybody give that away for free? I mean, that sounds nice.
They they just love us.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, and most of the stuff we looked at today has been free, and that's really neat.
Yeah, and then so that was my Socrative. That's my quick check. And the teacher account, you can do so much with it, and I really liked it. And you can go in and create multiple choice, short answer, true, false. You can really customize it to whatever you want. And then going back to my Blendspace, I also use Quizlet, and so does our social studies teacher. So the kids actually have their own logins, and Quizlet also has another app. So I gave them a link on here as well, or they can search me in the Quizlet app, and they can just go and find what I've provided for them. And then if for fast finishers, you can also build in some things for them to do as well. So they're going to check out some websites after they're done with all that.
So this just sequences the lesson. Blendspace, is that correct?
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3. What are these colors? What do the colors mean?
They don't mean anything. You can just go in and customize it.
Okay.
You can set them.
Oh, like
to
blue's
do
a
something.
link. Like they know that blue means it's a hyperlink. It takes me out.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
red is a film.
There we go.
That's cool. I like that color coding.
And then the purple is for the text. So that shows them where.
Speaking of color coding, all the viewers out there are all wondering the same thing. I know they are. Brittany, your fingernails, they match your shirt and your school colors. Is that something you planned?
No, it's actually nothing I planned. One of my friends told me I couldn't get any bright colors. So.
Okay. All right.
With
All right. Here you go. Is there anything else you wanted to tell?
No, that's what I had to share. Blendspace is
Wow.
awesome. So I really love it.
Blendspace is awesome.
recommend it.
And Brittany mentioned the Georgia ETC conference, which is a great regional, regional meaning close to us here in Northeast Georgia conference, just south of Atlanta. I've been going for a few years, and that's a wonderful one. If you can't go every year, I'll try to make it where you can go at least once every couple years, 3 years, and just get caught up in all the great new ed tech out there to engage your students and help them create. Because today's been a lot about students making a lot of it, and that's the key. That's what we want to do with technology, especially with iPads. The iPad, if you're researching and you're just typing on an iPad, it's kind of cumbersome, right? So we want students to be able to make things using the cameras and all that kind of stuff, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do, Brittany, is we're going to have our wonderful group of teachers out here who are going to be presenting later on in the day. We're going to have them playing with some of these things, and Brittany's going to be out there mingling and kind of showing them some things, if they have questions. Right, you good with that? Mm-hmm. She's good with that. She's going to help them out, and I'll be mingling out there too, facilitating, giving some feedback here with the mic. But if you just tuned in, you're watching iPadFest, which at one time, for a short period of time, was called iPadPalooza, before I got a message that said, Brian, you can't call it iPadPalooza because we already have that name. And so I had to change it to iPadFest, which is still awesome. So thanks for tuning in, and keep the love coming. We got the chat room, the phone hotline. We have a phone hotline. You should see the phone number pop up every so often. Who's going to call? It's Batman style. Light blinks up, so blinks on. All right, Brian Buffington. We're gonna cue and go to the audience, and we'll talk soon.